of you on the screen. That's fantastic. Good morning. I'm Rabbi Brian. It says so on my screen. It might not say so on your screen. This is the Saturday service with, oh, there it is. There's my name, Rabbi Brian. I'm glad that you're here. I am joined by a group of stalwart spiritual religious pioneers. There they are. Hi, stalwart spiritual religious pioneers. Not really sure what that phrase means, but this is a live show, and we'll see what happens. I talk, and then you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, there are lots of people who watch this later on YouTube, which is fantastic. So, just a caveat we've been saying the last few weeks is if you are on this screen or if you are watching this screen, please do not. What you say here, what you see here, let it stay here. Let's try to keep this as confidential as we can. I know it's a very public forum, but still we can be braver knowing that people aren't going to identify us by full name afterwards. So thank you for indulging me. I want to start us today by looking at we had homework from last week. It was this quote. There is nothing harshness does that loving firmness doesn't do better. And we did come up with one exception to that, which is that harshness makes you feel, at least momentarily, more powerful than loving firmness does. But besides the momentary high we get off of shaming or being harsh, there's nothing harshness does that loving firmness doesn't do better. In the last 168 hours since we've been here together, what is something that have you thought about this quote at all? Is there something you'd like to share? I have that as what I assigned as homework. It's all optional. Don't have to have done it. But question, did anyone, just by a show of hands so I know who's here, anybody think on this thought in the last week? I got a few people. Those of you who did a little bit of thinking on this, is there something you'd like to share with the group? And you don't have to. This is totally optional. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, it occurs to me that harshness gets my blood pumping and gets my stress levels up better than loving firmness.
And that feels kind of good, or no?
It does. It gives a rush.
Yeah, it's a rush.
It's like there's an adrenal rush kind of thing that goes on.
Yeah. There's a bit of powerful. It feels good to be harsh.
Yeah.
Harold, you had
righteous indignation. I like it.
Yeah, righteous indignation. We had a quote about righteous indignation. I can't remember what it was, though, at the moment.
I'm vacillating about what loving firmness means. Loving firmness, does that mean roll over and give in? Loving firmness, does that mean fight back? What does that mean?
So loving firmness to me is my daughter is yelling at me because she's triggered by something else and I'm a safe object. And loving firmness is me saying, walking away from her saying, you do not have the right to yell at me. You do not have the right to yell at me. That, to me, that's loving firmness as opposed to harshness, which is turning around and screaming. Harshness, loving firmness is holding a boundary.
And when do you walk back?
What do you mean by walk back?
You said, I turned around and I said, you don't have the right to scream at me.
Right, so I turned away from her. I'm going up the stairs.
When do you turn around and come back?
Come back down the stairs?
Come back down to see her.
Oh, I went upstairs, did whatever I had to do, and then I went downstairs. She also yelled that she's no longer talking to me because I'm the least considerate person in the entire world. Congratulations to me. They do not make mugs, world's least considerate person, but I do deserve that.
What was the What was the loving firmness response to that comment?
The loving to walking away from her.
No, from the last comment, you're the lousiest person in the
Oh,
whole
that was
wide
part
world.
of what she was yelling at me when I walked away. I didn't engage in it. So instead of going back to harshness, I just did loving firmness of you do not have the right to yell at me. You do not have
And
the
then
right to scream.
and then you disengaged.
I disengaged. I went upstairs. And she
Okay. So
continued to.
disengaging was part of your loving firmness.
Correct. Other thoughts on loving firmness? Yeah, Al.
I'm just curious, Harold, what do you think? What would loving firmness be for you?
Okay.
Like to me, that's the best way to explore loving firmness is to ask that. It's a very personal question, I think.
I think it depends a little bit on how right you are. If it's an opinion and
Mm,
you're venting on that, then I don't think there is anything about loving firmness. But if you're sure you're right or you're the parent, then I think what you have to do is you have to make sure in your comments that the ground rules are understood. Like you tell the kids you
right.
don't play in the street. So the ground rule is you don't play in the street. And if the kid plays in the street, is loving firmness going over and saying to the kid, get the hell out of the street, you're going to get killed? Or is it walk
Yeah.
over, take his hand, walk him out of the street? I,
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 this is
it's
going to bring
a
me
lot of
right in.
difference on what the ground rules are.
I think where you're going is going to lead me. Yes, it depends. You're the parent. You get to choose. Go ahead, John.
It seems to me that your description of the interchange with your daughter and the verbal thing, a term I've used before, you took your sails out of her wind.
Correct. 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 I do want to come back to this thing which happened. If you weren't here last week, I had a interaction with my beloved 16-year-old daughter who was doing anger at the wrong person at the wrong time and the wrong amount and for the wrong reasons. I was the recipient of her anger. I wanted to tell you a story about before Annie was born. Before Annie was born, I just had a little boy named Emmett, and he's a little monkey boy, and he would climb all over me. And I had one of those baby backpacks where he would, he was above my head, and it happened on more than one occasion. And so I said to Jane on one of the occasions later in, I said, you wouldn't believe what happened, but we're at the park and a mom comes over and tells me that I'm holding Emmett the wrong way and that the right way to hold a child is this way. And Jane said, oh, you were a victim of drive-by mothering. And it was so odious. It was so offensive to me that somebody who didn't know my son would think that they had a better way of carrying my son than I did. Because they had different chromosomes than I have. They thought they are a better expert on this 2-year-old than someone who's had 24 months experience with this 2-year-old. And I'm going to sum it up in these 3 letters. Happens to also be an acronym for the country I live in.
What does it say?
And it stands for, come on, focus, there it is. Stands for unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice. Which, I don't know why, but it seems somewhat fitting that this country should also be that acronym. But unsolicited advice is at the value of it's
Good file.
it's so I was, the first time it happened with the drive-by mothering, I was offended. How dare they tell me da-da-da-da-da. But the more I think about it, the more ridiculous it was that someone on the sideline would think they have a better idea on how to do it than I would. It's just absurd. And it's so absurd that how can I get angry? And it takes a little bit of work to get there. But we've talked... Oh, I lost my pack of tissues. Oh, my pack of tissues in here. Y'all just pretend I'm holding a pack of tissues. We all
But
remember...
how did you respond to that?
To the later drive-by mothering? With humor.
No, to the person that said that.
To the person who was correcting me on how to mother?
Yeah.
I think it has to do with my spiritual barometer and what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm in a bad mood, they're going to piss me off. Last week we had a little bit of this, and this is why I'm bringing it up. Last week there was a bit of, well, Rabbi, here's what you should have done with your 16-year-old daughter.
Thank you, no.
Right, exactly. Exactly that, Jack. As long as I'm in a fine enough mood and I'm stable enough, I can say, thank you, no. Thank you for trying, but no, it's just absurd that you would think that you have a better idea on how to treat my 16-year-old than I would. I have 16 years of experience. Were it to be that I said, I don't know what to do in this situation. Oh, and I did hear something from someone recently. They said, unsolicited, and this we could probably debate, but I'm going to tell you which side I'm on. They said unsolicited advice is fine as so long as it's good advice.
It's in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
No.
So I would ask us to be careful as we talk today of are you authorized? Are you authorized to be making comments to whatever the person's saying? I have a little bit of I have a few announcements. First of all, where is my friend Meg? Hi, Meg. Can you say hi?
Hi, Brian.
Hi. There you are on
Hi.
screen. Hey,
Yep.
Meg. 2 days ago was a really important day. Can you tell us why?
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, it was my birthday.
It was your birthday. And Meg,
And my screened porch got finished.
most of us are going to celebrate your birthday. Your screen porch, not so much. Meg, you are a delightful, sometimes, often. You are, despite yourself, delightful. And I'm so glad that you are part of this community and that you bring yourself as you are to what we do here. I fell in love with you the day that I had asked you before a service. You had asked me a question, and I said, would you please bring that up during the service as though it was a new question? And you, in the service, said, Rabbi, you asked me to say this as though it was spontaneous. And you called me out, and I thought, oh, this is someone I can be friends with. This is someone who's just delightful. I don't want to put you too much on the spot, but you should. I hope you see the hearts that are flying up and down some people's screens. And we have a tradition here. And so give me. I remember when I learned to do. What's the skiing behind a boat called? Water skiing. I remember I did water skiing, and they said, if the boat's going too slow, take your hand and do this, and we'll go faster. And if it's going too fast, take your hand out. And I couldn't do either because I was trying to hold on to the damn pull bar without dying. But Meg, I want to ask you, do you want a little bit more attention, or are you done with the attention that you've had?
I can take just a tiny bit more. My underneath my desk is vacant, So if I dive under there,
We'll know
you'll
why.
Can we sing?
We are going to sing in a moment, but I wanted to see if there's anyone else who has a specific compliment to give Meg, the famous Meg of the eponymous Meg's Law.
Well, I just want to say that I love Meg and happy birthday, Meg.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, I love you too, Meg.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Meg.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Is there-
birthday.
Is there, and I want to ask one more thing. Is there something that Meg has taught you? Is there a quick little thing that you've learned from Meg that you can reflect back so she can know the impact that she's made?
A reminder that purple hair is acceptable at any age.
It's coming back. It's
Yay.
coming back.
Yay.
Fantastic. Well, Meg, take a look around the screen. These people, not all of them, but most of them, all the ones who know you, love you. And we have a tradition here in Religion Outside the Box Land, which is on someone's birthday, they have the choice of with or without song. And Meg has picked with song. So I'm going to start so we have at least some note in common. And then we are going to sing happy birthday to Meg. Happy birthday to you,
Meg.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Happy
birthday
to you.
And many more.
That's
Thank
perfectly
you.
awful.
Thank you. That was laughable.
I very much enjoy
Marvelous. Thank you.
our enjoying and singing together. So thank you, Meg. We're very glad. I am very glad that you were born.
Thank you.
And that you have joined this community and jumped full in with both feet. Just delightful. Two other announcements before before our next activity. One, our friend James in prison. It is costing him $4.20 or so to buy hygiene products. So if you don't know, James is in Pelican Bay Penitentiary in the northwest corner of California. And he has taken it upon him. He's a prison bodhisattva. And the idea of a bodhisattva is that it's somebody who would be enlightened, but they're holding back their enlightenment so that they can teach the truth and help more people to become free. And James is doing this in prison, which is just staggering. And one of the things he does is when anyone moves into his facility, he is there right when they get off the bus, handing them a hygiene pack of deodorant, shampoo, soap, toothpaste, razors, and shower shoes. And can you imagine you're in prison and you're making gift baskets for the other people who arrive? He doesn't have the means to do so, but he does. And we have so far religion. We're about $100 and something short of what he has asked us to raise. So if you have it in you, we're taking any donations. rotb.org are going directly to James right now. Also, I will next week share with you some pictures of the people he has bought sneakers for. And there was a note that came with the picture that I'm going to butcher a little bit, but he said, I didn't know this. This prison doesn't supply sneakers. He got sneakers for 30 or so people who were wearing shower shoes and boots. And he's raising money so we're helping him as best as we can. So if you have it in you to please help James help people in prison, I'd appreciate that. Next little announcement. Hey, friends, have you written a book? If you've written a book, and I know Alex has, and I know, where's Carol? Carol's written several. There's Carol. If you would put in the chat the name of your book, the title, where people can buy it, I'm going to put together a little Religion Outside the Box book club. Here's some books that members have written, because let's share. So if you've written a book and you would like, please put that in the chat so that other people can gain from what you've spent a lot of hard work and energy writing. So let's share the wisdom. Okay. Is there anything that's super pressing, something that you wanted to say in this service and make sure you get it going? Go ahead, Carol.
I can't believe that we will now be training Qatar pilots in Idaho as if we never understood how 9/11 happened. And to put foreign military on American soil, is that the price for Air Force One?
Yeah, it's insane. It
It
is
is
insane.
so frightening. And I really feel that nobody is stopping Trump, and he's doing one outrage. I would say this is the presidency of death, for he wants to make the military more lethal,
Yeah.
and he's cutting all the health things we need, and so tariffing food that many people can't afford it.
I'm with you. I myself am terrified. And that's going to lead into what I want us to talk about in a moment. I also live in Portland, Oregon, and we are shitting ourselves. It is a terrible time to be here, knowing full well that nothing is happening, and yet we are going to get walloped, or the potential for us to get walloped is smack out there in front of all of us. Thank you for bringing our attention to that, Carol. Anything else? Is there something personal, something you want to share with the group as a whole? Okay. Here's a topic. We're going to break into small groups. Alex, if you would get our small groups ready to have 4 to 5 people in them, and we're going to go 7 minutes with a bonus 8th minute. The topic, and if you don't want to be in a small group, you don't have to be in a small group. If you're on a phone only, you will be automatically transferred into a small group. You don't have to share in the small group. And you can stay back here with me and whoever else doesn't want to be in a small group. Here's the question. The question is, what is one thing that you do? So you're going to be saying one thing that I do. Here's one thing that I do to calm myself. And I want us to share in small groups, especially in light of what Carol was just talking about. What is one thing that you do that helps you to calm yourself? And the second part of that question is, and how effective is it? What's one thing you do to calm yourself, and how effective is it? So you're going to be sharing, and then if there's some really good answers in your group, make a note of them, and when we come back as a group as a whole, I'll ask for people to share out what are things that they learned in their small group. So again, the question is, what is one thing you do to help calm yourself? And the second part of that question is, and how effective is it? We're not, and just back to ground rules, we're not saying, well, what you should do is. We're doing this all in first person singular. What I do is, what I try to do is, and how effective that is. Questions? Okay, so what's one thing I do to calm myself down, and how effective is it? And Alex, if you would send us into breakout groups, and we will show up back in 7 minutes and a little. There go the people to breakout group land. If you're watching on YouTube, you obviously can't join us in the small breakout group. So I will be here with you. And if anyone who's on the screen is having a hard time getting into a breakout group who wants to, please let us know and we will move you to a breakout group. Alex, I think our friend Steve got froze. There he moved. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Tanisa. Hi, Jim. Hi, Candace. Glad you guys are here. None of you have your video on, so that gives me an indication that you don't want to be seen. And there moves. But if you want to be heard, to please speak. And Alex, it looks like it's a small group of you and me.
Yeah, I guess it is.
What's one thing you do? Do you have an answer? What's one thing you do to calm yourself? knowing full well that you're still being recorded and broadcast to other people.
Yeah.
And see if other people.
Well, knowing that I was going to make a rank comment, but then knowing that I'm recorded, I will keep that one to myself. But I think a lot of times what I do to calm myself is just to acknowledge that I'm mad, right?
Mm.
Rather than going straight into the, or whatever thing I might do later to try and calm myself down, is to just be fully present in the fact that I am pissed off right now.
Yeah, yeah,
And because for me, it does not, stuffing it doesn't work. So for me, I have to acknowledge that, I'm mad, and why am I mad, and what can I do about it?
So
And
the
then
second,
after,
yeah, go ahead.
then after I've, acknowledged it and maybe decided what I'm going to do about it, then I can do other things, which either amount to things like distraction, try and think about something else. Well, I think really anything is distraction. If you try and do deep breathing or meditation or those kind of things, it's all basically a form of distraction, distracting you from
So
the
one thing
feeling.
you do to calm yourself is to accept the fact that you're not calm.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. And the second half of that question is, and how effective is it? How does that work?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say in the micro thing, right? Obviously, acknowledging that you're not calm is not necessarily going to calm you. But I think, you know, over the longer stretch, I think it is effective
So
because
it works for you.
I think it does work for me, because otherwise I'm just stuffing it.
Yeah.
And for me, stuffing emotions, whatever they be, whether they're negative ones or positive ones or
Just
neutral
not living them.
all it does is it's a postponement, right? I can put off
Right.
dealing with it, but or at least when I compartmentalize stuff, it's all it does is it basically kicks the emotional can down the road.
Right. Plus, it gains interest.
Right. When I kick the emotional can down the road and don't address it in the relatively immediate, all it does is build more resentment or whatever, to that it's gonna, it becomes like a pot for me, where the pot can sit there and simmer,
Right.
and eventually it's gonna boil over.
I got somebody. Shirley is playing from Facebook land. She said, "I light a candle, then remember who I really am, a loving being, and it's quite effective." As Alex said, first acknowledging the upset. Thank you, Shirley. Yeah. So first acknowledging the upset, and then lighting a candle. I love that idea because it takes you out of the. Lighting a candle would take me out of my usual path of it interrupts my thinking with an action. It would interrupt my thinking with an action. And so I love that idea, Shirley.
Well, I think fundamentally most ways of coping,
Calming
with,
ourselves.
coping with negative emotions, calming ourselves, those things, they're all based on one fundamental thing, which is some kind of form of distraction, right? I think most people.
I don't know.
Well,
if
no,
I agree with you.
what I'm getting at is okay. For me, I can only really honestly think about one thing at a time, right? And everybody goes, "Oh, no, you can multitask." And yes, you can, but it's not really multitasking. What it really
It's
is,
switching.
it's task switching. So
Yeah.
I'm focusing on I'm upset. I'm focusing on I'm doing the dishes. I'm focusing on I'm upset. I'm focusing on doing or whatever other task it might be.
And this is
And I
what
think
Shirley's saying is
that
adding a candle in changes.
that whether it's deep breathing or lighting a candle or just doing something else, it takes your mind off of the thing that's got or that for me, it will take my mind off of what
I
it
love how you just
has
said
me
that.
agitated and allows me to focus my attention on something else.
Let
And I
me
think
ask you a
surely
question.
the idea of a candle is beautiful.
How am I
Yes.
doing on time? Because I think we're about to be coming
We are
down.
at 30 seconds before the breakout rooms close.
Okay. So let me answer. One thing I
Before
do
they
to
start.
calm myself is I pretend like nothing's upsetting me, which is total bullshit. But I just pretend like I am calm even when I'm not. And how well does that work? It works in the short term. I can say that. I'm not really sure. I don't have what to compare it to because it's been my strategy for a long while.
Right.
And here come the people back.
Yeah, we have actually it's 30 seconds or it was 30 seconds to the close. Now we're on the countdown, so
Okay.
it's down. So people will start coming back here in a bit.
Wendy's just joining us. Wendy, welcome. We are just finishing breakout rooms. And apparently it was a really good topic because people aren't swarming back. And here come the people. Hello, Diana. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I was just saying that I can tell the engagement by how quickly people come back after the 1 minute announcement is. Well, welcome back, Rob. Hi, Patricia.
Thank you.
You guys are here. And we got 5 seconds left. And go figure, we're doing just fine.
Well, we had a lovely discussion, so thank you.
Good. Could people do me a favor and just do a quick little wave so I got all my cameras going right? And if I do this, I can say, be compassionate, yay. Oh, wait, that's our next thing. We're not up to that yet. Let me get back to where we were. There we are. What'd you learn? What'd you learn? One thing that somebody does that helps calm them that you might want to try, or was there something without breaking people's confidentialities? What the question was, one thing that I do that I do to calm myself, and what kind of strategies did we come up with? Because we sure could all use it. Rob's answer is a vape pen. Good answer, Rob.
Several of us in my group knit.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you do to keep yourself calm? Knit. I, of course, I crochet, so I have very strong opinions about people who knit.
We have the same about people who crochet.
You Babylonians, you.
Why Babylonian?
Well, I didn't want to call them Hittites. That seems really rude. I don't know. I just recently came up with just calling people by ancient civilizations names. It feels like a proper insult. What else did you learn? Go ahead, John, and then Harold or Connie.
Just in reflection on what we did in our small group, and I think the reflection, I also heard it from Megan, from you. I'm going to use a word that might be off-putting to some people, but a whole bunch of us pray.
Okay.
It does not take the traditional form necessarily of getting on bended knee in a closet and that kind of stuff, but we engage our mind. And engaging the mind, thanks, Meg. When I engage my mind, I use the example. I used to fill a pipe because you can't fill a pipe when you're mad. You're going to screw it up badly. But it's the same kind of thing. When I do that, I'm calming myself down and making my thoughts much broader.
Great answers. Great answers.
And the focus, to me, it's a form of prayer.
I gotcha. It's good doing something different. We did have from I'm going to call out, we had on Facebook somebody add in that they light a candle, and that the simple act of doing a thing dislodges the thoughts that were coming. It's very much like you're saying. Go ahead, Harold. Connie? Go, Connie.
I bake.
You bake?
I bake. I bake. So
And
I
how's
bake a
that work
lot.
out for you, Harold?
Depends.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
make soup.
What else do you do that calms you down? Go ahead, Diana.
Out of our group, there was the idea of mental distraction, like Sudoku, something that's focused, and that gives space for the mind to sort of settle down
Yeah.
and return to what would be more effective. And also physical movement, just getting the energy moving, but without being directed towards another person.
Jane says about Sudoku and crossword puzzles that when you're dysregulated, knowing that there's a correct answer and there's one thing that goes in a box, it's very clean and keeps the mind calm. Go ahead, Melissa. Thank you, Diana.
Yeah.
What do you do to calm yourself, or what's one thing you learned about calming yourself?
One of the things, there was a theme a couple people shared that I appreciated, and it was just taking a pause, just pausing, taking a deep breath, and distancing yourself, for lack of a better way to describe it. And then I want it stated for the record, I am team knitting.
Okay, all right. That is heresy. Wars have been fought over more. What else do you have, Dan? Thank you, Melissa, for rubbing that one in my face.
We had in our group reading and also walking, preferably in nature for those who had easy access to it.
Okay, that's calming. It's definitely calming.
Well, yes, one thing that came up in our group was recalling a special place that takes your mind back to pleasant associations.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Especially in nature.
Anyone else have one they want to share? Yeah, go ahead, Dolly. Thank you so much.
Someone said that they, which I'd like to try, that they hum or sing to themselves. And that sounds very calming to me, so I'm going to try that one.
Yeah. Grandma used to whistle. That worked for her. Go ahead, Rob.
Another one that I just thought of is music.
Yeah. There's something about music that can really calm the soul.
Absolutely. It's a different language.
Yeah. Great. I'm going to take a look at all
If you want to sing out, sing out.
If you want to be free, be free. I'll tell you one thing that gives me calm, and I'm doing it right now, which is looking at all your faces. There's something to me, and I don't know if it works for other people as well, and might be
right
my
back
position
at
here,
you.
is just looking at people who, just knowing these are good-hearted people. It calms me to know that you are in this world and that people are striving to be their better selves and to love more. That calms me. Okay. I found this in a Bible. I put it in the Bible and then I found it there. It says, "Be compassionate, yea, verily, unto the dumbasses."
What do you want to go down?
Comments? Because otherwise this is scripture, folks, and then you have to do it. I don't think I spelled yay correctly. I think that's yeah.
Well, that works.
I think you can get the H out of there.
Get the H out of here.
Is that Old Testament or New Testament?
It's very new. It's very new, and it's very old.
In the footnotes.
Right.
Basically saying be patient.
Be patient. Thank you, Dolly. Who else has commentary on this verse?
I have in front of me, you all will be happy to know, a compassion exercise that when I find I'm about to lose it or when somebody's just irritating me, I try to read that and like one of them, the first one is just like me, this person is seeking some happiness for his or her life.
Can
and
you
that
keep reading? What else does it say?
Sure. Just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in his or her life. Just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair. Just like me, this person is seeking to fulfill his or her needs. Just like me, this person is learning about life. And that helps me be a little more empathetic, compassionate, and understanding. If you want me to put it in the
I would love that.
I would love that.
Lovely.
Okay, it does start with attention on the person, repeat to yourself, but whatever.
Well, this group is fair to edit biblical passages as necessary, and good.
Isn't that
As long as we're editing,
the
Rabbi.
Orthodox gospel?
It's a very unorthodox gospel. Go ahead, Al.
As long as we're editing, you could add on at the end of that quote, especially if the dumbass is you.
Uh-oh. Wait a second.
Al, the dumbass is never moi.
Okay, wait.
Well,
I'm going to make a footnote. Verily unto the dumbasses, even if that dumbass. I love that, Al.
I thought you might like it.
Well,
I think
if you're
that's
going to do
great.
yea, verily, change the you to the thou.
Even if that is thou.
I'll take a thou.
I don't know how to spell thou.
It's the accusative. It's
Thou.
It should be the. It's the accusative, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
This
is where we're getting in the weeds of editing, and we might be missing the point. Even if that dumbass is thou, I'm fair with it if it's grammatically correct or not. How do you do with that? Which dumbass are you more verily compassionate to?
All of them.
I found myself this last week, maybe it was a week before. I'm sorry for those of you who this upsets, but it does have to do with the dishwasher. It does not have to do with my children in the dishwasher, but the dishwasher was not cleaning very well, so I went to the bottom of the dishwasher, I pull out the filter, and the filter's just filled with, we've been experimenting too much with chia seeds in my household. And the chia seeds are just about large enough to block all the holes on the filter. So I'm cleaning the filter off. And I thought, as I'm cleaning the filter in the sink, I think, if I ran this through the dishwasher, it would really clean it off. and then I realized that I was the dumbass. You can't clean the filter in the dishwasher because it's that wasn't it. So I beat myself up for yay only a moment, and then I laughed at myself. I wish I knew what it was that makes it that I'd like more of the ability to just laugh at myself when I'm being a dumbass, and I would like a little bit more the ability to laugh at someone else when they're telling me how to parent my 2-year-old.
You got it. Humor is a big comfort.
Yep.
Yeah. The question though is how do we cultivate that? How do we cultivate compassion and humor?
One thing that
Wait. I want to change my question. It's not how do we cultivate compassion and humor. How do you cultivate compassion and humor?
Sometimes
be nonsensical.
Yeah.
That should work. And I think Betsy was saying something as well.
Sometimes working backwards, putting a smile on your face at the beginning, like they say in Buddhism or something, sometimes that helps to transform your mind into being more receptive to pleasant grief.
Fake it till you make it. You put the smile on first, and then hopefully it comes through. I like that. Go ahead, Jack.
By saying thank you for being just like me.
That will help you to be compassionate unto the dumbasses and to have a sense of humor. I love it.
Good one.
Good. We're going to take a little switch of attentions and move over to Maria, who has a list of people who could use a little light and love.
Okay. These are the individuals to whom we are sending light and love. Joe Ludwig, Lauren Lee, Leo Applebaum, Alex, John, and Rebecca, Irma P. and her family, Sally and Bob B., Ralph in loving memory, Sheridan H., Aru Lane Hill, Ebony, and Beth Carney, Rita S., and Ron. If there is another individual in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat, and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the individuals who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Thank you very much for reading those names. We'll take a minute. Let me get the timer going. There we go. Thank you all. And then we have an extra prayer from our friend Shirley, who just posted into Facebook. I could use prayer, light, and love, healing from another surgery. If you would like to be in touch with people, either to ask for prayers or just to kibitz, please join the Religion Outside the Box phone. We have a list of phone numbers and email addresses, and if Maria or Alex could post that into the chat so you can become part of the contact list, I'd appreciate that. I changed it. Be compassionate, yea, verily, unto the dumbasses, even if thou art the dumbass thyself. I have a quote. Oh no. No. Okay, I had the quote. I gotta bring it back up. This is a quote from George Bernard Shaw, It's gendered language. I apologize for that. I didn't feel like changing his words. Forgive him, for he believes that the custom of his tribe are the laws of nature. Forgive him, for he believes that the customs of his tribe are the laws of nature. What do we make of that?
Someone who's quite close-minded.
Right? That somebody's close-minded, and we have to forgive them for that. Go ahead, Harold or Connie.
I live in the great state of Texas. And as you all know, Texans know all, see all, believe all. And I've run into any number of people that have seldom left the county they were born in, and a lot of people that have seldom left the state boundaries of Texas. And they think that the world is about like you, and it's one of the biggest frustrations I've had because I've traveled a lot and seen a lot of the world, and I know that Texas isn't even close to the rest of the world. And that Shaw quote is a classic of a lot of Texans I've met. They think inside the boundaries is the only place to be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I have a little trouble forgiving willful ignorance.
Well, so right. This is thank you, George, for saying that. Can we still? Ought we still? We might not like it, but ought we forgive ignorance, even if it's willful?
Don't we have to see how it affects other people?
If it doesn't affect other people, we can let it slide. If it affects other people, we have to deal with it. I think you're onto something, Carol.
I'm reminded of the saying that I don't forgive other people for their sakes. I forgive other people for my own.
So
I'm not forgiving them doesn't mean what they're doing is okay. It just means I can let it go and go on with my life.
Well put, Al. We forgive them not for their sake, but for ours.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they're right. Doesn't mean that they get a pass. Just means that I'm going to let that go and not cloud my own judgment in my own head.
I think it could bring us right back to this. We can still have a boundary. We don't have to. We don't have to take them on. Go ahead, Anne.
I think, as Carol mentioned, it depends on whether it's going to hurt someone else. If I am standing in line for a movie and somebody looks at a child and says, "Oh, hey, what are you N-word doing at this movie?" I feel a little bit of responsibility to go over to the N-word child and say, "You know what? I am really glad you're here. I'm glad we're seeing the same movie. My name's Anne. What's your name?" Because I've been on the receiving end of that too many times.
Yeah.
And when someone else's nastiness hurts somebody else in the moment, I feel a responsibility to do what I can if there's anything I can do. If there's anything I can do, a little bit, just a little bit, do what I can.
I love that, Anne. I'm glad you're in this world. I'm very glad you're in this world. Amen. Amen. I do have an announcement to make. Forgot about this announcement.
It's okay. Be okay.
It's okay not to be okay. Hey, you know what? I'm really anxious, and that's okay. I'm scared, and that's okay. I'm angry, and that's okay. It's okay not to be okay. Anyone feel like a private reading of this to hear themselves say it out loud this week would be of benefit? Please do so.
It's okay.
All right, my dear friends. If there's nothing else going, let's wave goodbye to all the people who are on the screen.
Brian, my announcement?
Oh, yes, we had a quick announcement from, where are you? There you are, Dan. Sorry. And then we'll wave goodbye. That was a practice. That was just practice. Go ahead, Dan.
Not tomorrow, but Sunday. We're having a special 75th anniversary service, but also kind of looking towards the future at West Hill United Church, which several of us are actively part of, and a few others have been to, and Rabbi Brian spoke at, which is where I found him. It's a completely values-based church, love, kindness, compassion, justice, very much like our community here, although it looks more like church, and it's completely non-theist. We don't use God language, which may appeal to you or may not. But all are welcome. Westhill.net. The Zoom link is there. Anybody in Toronto can come in person, but we do great hybrid. So most welcome. Sunday the
Dan,
19th.
isn't that the 19th?
19th, two Sundays from now.
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
What time?
Is there a time you have?
Oh, it's 10:30 a.m. Eastern.
10:30 Eastern. I forgot to make the announcement that if you're heading on out, to please put something in the chat so that we know that you were heading out. I apologize. I forgot to do that this week. But now we're going to say goodbye to all the people. Say goodbye to the people who are on Facebook, and we will continue off of the recording.